When I look at the world around us, there's a lot of people who are like, look, you gotta adhere to truth. It's all about truth, truth, truth. And then there's the people who are like, it's all about love, right? It's love, love, love. And it's like, if you don't have that balance, and this kind of goes with the upward, the inward, and the outward, you can't, it doesn't all come together without that balance, because you could be trying to love people, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you could be trying to love people and you're out there and you're loving and you're loving and you're loving, but there's no truth, which would be the upward, right? There's no looking to God, having this standard. And you end up actually not loving people sometimes when you do that, when you think, hey, I'm loving them so much, but you're actually not giving them truth. So how do you find that balance? I think that's a struggle a lot of people have.
Well, that idea of truth and love is tied together in the scriptures in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15, where the Apostle Paul tells the church in Ephesus to speak the truth in love. Now, I found a quote by Bible commentator Warren Wiersbe, which really, really, really has impacted my life, where he says, love without truth is hypocrisy, and truth without love is brutality. And so the idea is that, the Bible encourages us that if you're a truth teller without self-sacrificially loving the person you're telling the truth to, you're just being brutal.
Mm.
And God is not, God's not brutal. God is loving and redeeming and forgiving, and so, and if you have love without truth, what you have is hypocrisy, because you're really not talking about biblical love. You're talking about sentimentality,
Mm.
which is different. And so really for us, it's like, we should never, you can't have true love divorced. You can't have love divorced from the truth, and you can't have truth divorced from love.
Well, sometimes we're afraid too. Like, sorry to, but like sometimes I feel like it's, I'm afraid to give the truth. So I'm just going to give the love, 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 because if I give the truth, that person might be turned off or people might not want to be, but when you do that, you're abandoning the structure of the way things are. You're abandoning who God is in that process, and you're essentially lying.
That's right. It's not truth then. It becomes, it's falsehood. And so I think that's the beauty. And I always like to say that, we all want to resolve the tension, but really I think Jesus's way for us as we follow him is to embrace certain tensions. And so I realize that as a follower of Jesus, there are certain truths of Jesus that are not welcome in our culture. Now, it is not loving of me to bury those things. It's actually loving of me to share those things, but in a humble, in a winsome, having taken the plank out of my own eye, And so, and in the same way, when something really gets me riled up because I feel like it's so against the Lord and the reality that he created that we get to live in, I have to always make sure that before I speak out of frustration in my truth-telling ways, I have to say, Lord, am I embodying your love for that person? Because even if that person doesn't believe in Jesus, Jesus still chose to leave heaven's glory and come to earth and go on a rescue mission for them. And if they would but embrace God's grace, then they would be saved. And so I need to make sure that I always speak the truth in love. And if I want to ever, undercut the truth in the name of love, that I have to remind myself, actually, this isn't love at all. This is lies.